welcome in. I'm Natalie. Thanks for joining me today for just a couple poses and stretches to help with the neck. Just keeping it loose, just maybe noticing if you're feeling any tightness anywhere. So just moving mindful through this practice today, just doing what feels good for your body. So we'll just start with some neck rolls. So coming to a seated position. And just sitting up tall, you can have your legs crossed in any comfortable seat. And then just starting just to notice your breath. And then you can close your eyes and just finding neck circles at your pace. So just starting by dropping your chin to the right. And then moving as slow or as fast as you would like. Again, just observing how your neck and your shoulders are feeling today. You can go ahead and make full circles or half circles. And then switching up the direction of those circles. Just rotating your head in the other direction. Noticing if that changes the way anything feels. Maybe even looking up towards the ceiling and trying to drop your head back a little bit as you're rolling up. And just being mindful of any tension. Then coming back to center. And maybe just shrugging shoulders up and letting them drop down. And kind of pulling them down towards the ground a little bit. Doing that again, just shrugging them up. Go ahead and kind of pull them back down. And then dropping your head just to the right side. Just kind of feeling a stretch through the left side of your neck. Just holding it here just for a moment. And coming back up to center. And drawing your head over to the left side. Now feeling a stretch through the right side of your neck. Coming back up to center. Next we'll be finding a butterfly pose. We'll be holding this for a little bit, so you may want to grab a couple things if you need to help prop you up in this pose. So we'll start by just bringing your feet together to touch. And your feet can be as far away or as close to your body as you want, so just kind of notice how that changes things in your legs, kind of where you're feeling sensations. And then noticing right away as you just start to let your leg muscles relax, maybe if you want something for a little support here. The goal in this shape is to just relax legs, kind of letting gravity do the work. So if your knees are a little bit farther away from the ground, kind of like mine are here, something under the knees to support can help really let you relax, and you're still going to get a stretch after you're holding this for a few minutes. And then this also will be a fold forward. Again, you can use propping to help you if you want while you're folding forward. You can also just use your arms. Maybe you are making it all the way down to the ground. So just noticing where you want to be, finding your version of this butterfly shape. Fidgeting for a minute if you need, just to get propping, right? And then as you're folding forward, really focus on relaxing your neck and your head. So if you're propping, maybe you want to face one direction, and it'll note when we're halfway through, you can switch that up. If you're using your arms to hold you up more, maybe just letting your head really relax, really letting your neck stretch out through the back line. So just finding your options in this shape and then working to find stillness and settle in. Noticing right away what's distracting you in this pose. Maybe you're feeling bored, maybe there's some noises or sounds. Might have the thoughts coming back in. It's a challenge when our body is finding stillness. Usually our mind wants to start doing something and be more active. So just reminding yourself to pay attention to your breath. And continuing just to relax what you can from head to toe while you're in this shape. And keeping your focus on your breath. Even having the option to make your breath audible. So almost like you are going to fog up a mirror. You just kind of hear that sound in the back of your throat. Just following your rhythm. And knowing you're about halfway through this shape, so making any adjustments you may need. Maybe if you're facing your head in one direction, changing it to the other. Noticing though, maybe you need to adjust your propping to do that. And finding any fidgets or movements, settling back in. And checking in with your physical body. Just do a scan. Notice how different parts are feeling. And as you're paying attention to each different area, try to relax a muscle, let go of something. Just continuing to settle in. Bringing your focus back to your breath. Relaxing your body with each exhale. Just feeling the stretch in this shape. And then taking 3 deep rounds of your breath before moving out of the shape. So still releasing, relaxing, finding stillness. And at the bottom of your third exhale, just slowly moving out of this shape. Just starting with your upper body. Still trying to keep legs relaxed if you can. Noticing your neck. So maybe that's stretching out, putting palms behind you, lifting your heart. Even letting your head drop back a little bit. Then moving legs. Maybe guiding them a little bit. Just noticing sensations as you come not only into the shapes, but also out. These long held poses can definitely bring on some discomfort. Letting this go back to normal after pinching or opening up, at the hip crease. So maybe a little massage would feel good, or even these windshield wiper motions. So just doing any of those movements that you need. And then when you're feeling ready to move on, moving into caterpillar next, which will feel pretty good for the legs after butterfly. So this also will be a fold forward with legs straight out in front of you. Knowing you do have the option to give that a bend if that stretch isn't feeling good or you want to use your legs to sort of drape your body over. So finding an option there. And then again, just grabbing things if you want. For propping, you can again always just use your arms, your own body. Sometimes it's nice just to have the pillows or blanket or blocks or whatever it may be, just to add a little bit of comfort as we sort of stretch out the body here, and it allows you just to settle in a little bit more, or at least for me. So finding your caterpillar shape. And just fidgeting around, noticing what feels good. And then again, focusing on your neck and your head. So If you can, trying to let maybe your head drop, or if you're propped up as much as I am, maybe even tucking your chin a little bit. Just notice feelings in your back. Being mindful, of course, making adjustments if things are turning into a little bit more pain. So settling in. And just like in the last shape, really relaxing your legs, so unclench toes or muscles, just releasing. And bring your focus to your connection. So first, physically noticing parts of your body that are connecting with your mat, with the earth. Then also noticing as you breathe, the movement of your body with your breath. Just your natural rise and fall. And with each exhale, just releasing a little bit more to the mat, to earth. Just feeling that support and letting gravity just gently pull you closer. And then taking 3 more rounds of your breath in this shape. Again, continuing to release, to be still, just to breathe. And once you've emptied out from the bottom of your third exhale, just slowly coming back up. Again, being mindful of your head and your neck. Maybe counter stretching that first. And if you were using things to help you a little bit, just setting those aside. And moving legs in any way that you need. Again, maybe some of those same motions that you found after butterfly. Finding those as long as you would like, but when you are ready to be moving on. We're finding a reclined butterfly next. So maybe finding the propping that you might want under your knees, just noticing how that felt at your hips and your knees. Knowing it will be a little bit different when you lean back. Your legs will move a little bit differently, but maybe setting up there and just checking that out, seeing how that feels. And then, as I said, we'll be taking this recline. So just starting with butterfly and just starting to move back. So for you, maybe let's just staying here and just wanting to drop the head back and just keeping the heart lifted a little bit. You can lower down farther, maybe using elbows if you'd like, arching the back. If you can lay all the way flat. I'm going to add a little bit of support for myself here. So always an option, again, this is where maybe pillows might be nice. And it might take a little bit to kind of fidget around, see what's working. You might think something's going to be a good idea and it might be a little uncomfortable. So just checking that out and getting into your shape. Even an option to or even cover up your eyes. Have an eye pillow or even your hoodie. And again, noticing your breath in this shape. Maybe taking a moment to notice that connection. Maybe there are different parts connecting down. Maybe also just taking a minute to just observe the feeling of having your heart more exposed in this way compared to the rounding and the folding forward. And just allowing yourself to just relax. Sometimes it can be nice in this pose to have a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. And trying to find stillness in these long held shapes, but knowing something isn't quite feeling right or you need to adjust. That you should take that time to do so. Making sure your position so you can relax as much as possible. Notice your heart lifting, your belly rising with your breath. Letting yourself relax a little bit more with every exhale. Knowing you'll be here about 1 more minute. Noticing if there's any adjustments you would like to make. Like to find a little more depth, or maybe you need to back off a little bit. Just make some final fidgets if needed. Noticing any areas also of discomfort in this pose. Just breathing into those areas. Knowing you'll only be here about 30 more seconds. And taking 3 more rounds of breath in this shape. And not changing the pace of your breath, still maintaining stillness. Once you've emptied out from those 3 rounds, just slowly coming out of this pose, especially if you've reclined quite a bit. So just being mindful, you can even kind of roll over to the side, move your legs first if you want. Trying to kind of let your head, as you are sitting up, be the last thing that you bring out. Then moving legs. Again, just noticing those sensations. Moving in any way that's feeling good. Finding counter stretches, counter movements, as long as you need to. But when you're ready to move on, coming to have a seat. And then however you just sat, it's probably the same as the first time. So switching up the cross of your legs. It's usually not the first choice. Always feels a little bit wonky. But still sitting up tall, just evening things out. And then we'll just end this practice the same way we started. So just finding those neck circles. And maybe tuning in to how your neck is feeling now compared to when you started. So finding your pace of your circles, and again, maybe just starting, dropping down to your right shoulder, tucking chin towards your chest, and rolling your head up and to the left. Again, finding your pace. Just noticing tension, also parts that feel good. And switching up the direction, still sitting up tall, just letting your shoulders be relaxed. Again, even kind of exaggerating that point of the chin up. Even trying to look back behind you a little bit. And really tucking that chin, your chin into your throat. And then returning to center. Shrugging shoulders up, letting them drop down. Maybe hearing some cracks and kinks. Doing that one more time. And sitting up tall. I want to thank you for joining me today, Yogi, for this sequence, focusing just on stretching out the neck, giving your neck a little TLC. Thank you, Yogi. Namaste.